And we are hot.
Back in the studio.
And it's actually kind of hot. Now the sun came out for this brief.
I really don't know
minutes.
what sun is anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, my skin all day has been like, what is this? What is this?
It's, well, you know, I don't know when it broke up here, but it didn't quit raining until close to 2 down in Birmingham. So.
Yeah, it sprinkled on and off.
But I mean, no sun. No sun until I started home. So, and I got to thinking about this. You know, from the time we went to Indiana, which was in April, until today.
It's been raining.
It's been raining. I mean, there may have been, I'm not going to say every day, there may have been a break here and there.
The rain and the wind has followed us.
Everywhere we've hunted. I don't think we got rained on in Tennessee, but it was windy.
Cool.
It was cloudy a few days. So, yeah. But Indiana, rain, cold. Illinois, rain, cold. What we're going to talk about tonight, Canada, rain,
cold.
Well, actually, it was windy, cold, rain. I mean, so.
And cool.
It was cool. That outhouse was cool. We'll talk about that, too. But anyway, we are back in the studio, going to cut this one. I don't know how long this thing will be. You got any idea? I don't.
I have no idea. Never do.
Sometimes I think it's going to be 30 minutes, hour and a half, and we may finish this thing in 30 minutes. But back here in Coleman, just got back Friday. Saturday will be a week. This coming Saturday. Seems weird, don't it? This time a week ago, I just killed my turkey. Oh, I gave away. Yeah, well, that was last Thursday.
Yeah, it was Thursday morning, wasn't it?
In the rain and cold.
And wind.
So if anybody follows us on social media, I put up a reel or a story or a post too. I think it was all of them. And if you'll look, one of the first pictures is of Dustin's truck's GPS showing how many miles we had to go. So that started the journey that morning. Probably times on there too. But we took out here, and it was cloudy. It was ready to start raining. I mean, I think we got Tennessee before it started raining on us.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good on the way up. Yeah. I mean, we were kind of just on the edge of it all the way.
All the way.
It was cloudy. It was nasty, but we didn't really drive any hard rain.
We made a few stops, which we put it in the wind. I mean, I thought we did really good. I mean, no real accidents.
Got held up a little bit going into Detroit in that construction zone.
That was only construction, no wrecks.
We burnt 35 minutes. So that's not terrible on a trip that long.
So we spent, 10, 11 hours getting to Detroit.
Yeah.
And you was the one doing the driving, so you'd know better than me, but found us a place to stay.
It just went by fairly quickly.
I mean, all we do is talk.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't a whole lot of sitting there boring windshield time. We're always talking about something or lying about something, seeing something, making up something funny or
that 35 minutes we were stuck in that construction house we were doing was looking at all the different distillery signs.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the distilleries there of all kind of names.
Wait a minute. Not distillery.
Or not dispensaries.
Distilleries, yes. We saw those in Tennessee, but there was some of those in, I don't know. I saw a lot of signs for them. Kentucky.
But dispensaries, yes.
Dispensaries.
Yes,
and there was some crazy name ones.
We were entertained by that for 35 miles or 35 minutes or whatever it was.
Now you understand why when we got to the border, they asked us if we had any
how much
marijuana.
cannabis?
Yeah, cannabis, whatever. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
But anyway, we got up there and spent the night and got us a good night's sleep, ate a good meal. The hotel had a restaurant in it. It saved us having to go out and hit the road, which there was plenty of places to eat. But it wasn't bad food. Good food.
You got to have a little brown water?
Yeah, sure did. And it wasn't the best old-fashioned I'd ever had. But, hey, after 10, 11, 12 hours, it was time to have something.
It was a nightcap anyway.
So got up the next morning, had breakfast. Pretty good breakfast.
Yeah.
I thought it was good breakfast. And we hit the road because I wanted to be fresh.
And we were.
I'm an old man, and I didn't want to be up there 12 hours in and them give us some crap at the border.
Because you don't find but so much information.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had studied and we have done everything I knew humanly possible. We talked to everybody we talked to and come down to just that one form.
Right.
And so we went to, what was that, the Minister of not Tourism, was it? What was that? Ministry of Wildlife or something? I don't know. Anyway, the form's there. you guys want the number and all, y'all shoot us a message and we'll do it. And I don't see no need trying to look all that.
Yeah, it was the Royal Canadian
something
other. Mounted Police, something other.
Anyway, it's not hard to find on Google. Hell, if I can find it, anybody can find it. And I think our biggest challenge, or not challenge, our biggest didn't know was just, a month before we leave, and that we had to go up to our Customs and Border Patrol people and get our guns checked and get that certificate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people that travel all the time knew this, but or travel with weapons to go hunt and fly different places, but I didn't. Thank God. Your what is he, cousin-in-law or nephew-in-law, or what the heck is he?
My niece's husband. I don't even know what that is.
That would be
my niece-in-law?
Your nephew-in-law.
Nephew-in-law, yeah.
I guess redneck would be nephew-in-law.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he's the one that he enlightened us to that, and that was actually a very easy process, other than just having to drive to Huntsville, Alabama.
It was kind of generic, though.
Well, yeah.
It looked like we was at a doctor's office where you put if your insurance has changed, if you've changed medications, and you hand it to them and you're thinking they're going to go back and type something up really neat.
No,
just looks at your
serial
numbers.
Signs it, stamps it, and it's done.
That's it.
I was shocked they didn't want to come out and actually hold the gun and look at it.
Well, we thought we were going to go in maybe and get it inspected.
Yeah, I mean, he looked through the bulletproof glass or whatever, the COVID glass.
Can you tilt that a little more so I can see that?
Got the glare. Yeah, these camo guns generally do that.
Yeah, yours was really hard to read with that. Your camo, I was like...
Remind me, we'll go down. I'll show you my shotgun with the new barrel.
Ready to see it.
I should have brought it up here. But anyway, we hit the road, made a little O Canada video in case we didn't make it across the border. Because I listen, there's people been up there 1,000 times that's never had an issue. I've been up there probably a couple dozen times over the years. It probably has been close to that long. So I've been going up there fishing, not carrying a weapon. And I not even carrying a weapon, I've had a couple of bad experiences. So I figure you expect the worst, anything better, you feel good about it.
Hey, they were very well pleased with us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we roll up, you roll the window down. What does she say to you?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
And I was like, oh, crap. Is it all going to be French?
I know. I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, we're not in Quebec. Isn't it Quebec where the French are? I think it is. But maybe we looked French to her. I don't know. Maybe you look like a Frenchman.
I don't know.
But anyway, when we handed her the passports and the gun application, because that's what it is at that point. It's an application.
Right.
Because they can turn it down, I guess. And you get sometimes it's the dreaded yellow slip of paper on the windshield. But this time I was expecting it, so it was not
we got the orange.
Dreaded it, yeah. So what? They direct us over to the little customs building, to a parking lot, enclosed parking lot.
Yeah.
And here 2 rednecks jump out in a pair of short pants and T-shirts.
And it was cool.
They knew we weren't from around there.
There was about 4 to 6 border patrols that started in on the truck.
I was trying to count that. There's 4, 5, or 6 of them. I know there's at least 4.
There was 4 that started. I think 2 more come about when they got done with that other vehicle. But
I think it's because they didn't have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But very cordial, no attitude. Of course, it's early in the morning, which I was hoping everybody be in good mood.
They was in fresh shift change.
And so, cute little old border guard girl. She was cutie. But anyway, they asked us what we were doing. We gave them the paperwork. They asked us to step out of the truck. One of the guys carried on the conversation. Well, they all carried on conversation because they all asked us where we was going about 18 times.
Yeah.
And what was your answer?
Ontario.
Tweed, Ontario.
Tweed,
Ontario, sir. That's what I heard you say. Tweed, Ontario, sir. And I don't know how many. I mean, they asked me that a half a dozen times at least.
We got to ask that.
I mean, I think they're just making sure.
Yeah.
And then the one guy, wanting to know what we was hunting, and you was talking turkey. You got over there because you got the gift of gab, and anyway, you're talking turkey with him, and they asked if we had ammo. And you done got your ammo box out or something.
Yeah, they'd handed it. They'd set it on the car.
Well, they hadn't got mine. I had to go around there and get mine. And there's a little younger guy. It was kind of like he done told us to step away, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm getting that ammo box so they can look at it." And then he was okay. Seemed like the younger ones are a little bit. I don't know if they're not cocky, but maybe a little more paranoid or something. Because
he could have still been in training.
Well, he could have been. I mean, he wasn't ugly at all.
No,
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but
They were pleased that our guns were in lock cases.
Lock cases.
Ammo was stored separately in another lock case. They're like, man, y'all did it right. And we're like, phew,
well, I mean, he said people just pull up in there with them laying in the back seat. So I wouldn't doubt loaded. I mean, who knows? Well, I mean, they could see anything.
Right.
I mean, imagine what comes back and forth through there.
Right.
So
we got to go inside.
Yeah, after we passed everything, give us back our paperwork, and we have to go inside and see the little man behind the counter. And he actually runs a big background check on you back there.
And he said, what did he say?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I'm going, what in the heck is going on with all this bonjour stuff?
Where you headed?
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
We're going to Tweed, Ontario, and we're turkey hunting. And he took our paperwork and took our passports, and he disappeared for a little while, told us to go sit down. And, I mean, I'm sure we was getting run through the big computer.
Oh, yeah.
And come back and stamped our little paperwork. I'm shocked you didn't ask to get your passport stamped. He'd have stamped it. He was in a good mood.
I don't know. After you told me the horror stories, I was like, heck with it.
This is that border at Ambassador Bridge, because I told you, it's on this show all the time. You need to turn it on and watch it. Not Seized at the Border. If y'all want to see the bridge we crossed, they show it. It's the heaviest traveled crossing in North America, or the northern part of North America. There's more crossings in Mexico that has more, but this one is more than any. We crossed at the busiest place.
Well, that may be why Craig and them had
10,000 people a day.
They had commented and said we should have went to the other one that's not as busy. I guess it's right there somewhere.
But you know
close.
what? I have mixed opinions about that. If you stay busy, you won't move you on through. If you're bored, hey, let's give them a little run around.
I wanted the full experience.
Well, did you?
We got it.
You saw it? No, you didn't get it.
Well, I got it coming back in.
No, you didn't go in the private room in there and get the full experience.
Well, no, I didn't. Even fresh, experience. I don't think I wanted any of that.
No.
We seen the rooms, though.
Oh, they were there.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's, you said you wanted it.
But we knocked that out of the park, man.
And even the one of the border agents, he said, man, I wish y'all could, about all the turkeys in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
I said, hey, give me your address.
Where they can't hunt.
Yeah, no hunting in the city limits. But he told us we'd see turkeys before we got too much out of town, and he was right. 10 minutes on the road.
On the 401. Or 2 hens or something. And then
it was all blowed up.
Then we seen no blowed up strutter.
Yeah. There's one blowed up. No.
Well, and Redneck's got to hit Walmart. We hit the Walmart in London.
Yeah. That's a different kind of Walmart, too.
It was.
Everything seems to be a little smaller. They don't have all the junk. I think junk.
I wasn't sure, though, we were going to have much luck because we didn't have any oatmeal cream pies, and they don't carry them there.
No Little Debbie's in Canada, apparently.
But we did buy some of their brand just in case we needed something in a pinch.
Yep. I had the Swiss rolls and those coconut strawberry things.
They look like zingers, but they was rolled up. Yeah. I don't know what they call
them. I never even tried the other ones. They still in the house in there.
Yeah.
So probably should have. Took me 4 days to kill a turkey, but regardless, once we crossed the border, we still had a long way to go.
Yeah.
Another 5.5, 6 hours by the time we stopped and ate. And
then we hit the traffic in Toronto.
Oh, Toronto was awful. Awful. It's like driving through Atlanta during rush hour. And there wasn't no construction. That was just traffic.
Never even seen a fender bender. No, it was just traffic.
Just traffic.
Which now, it was the holiday.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know it was a holiday.
It was a holiday weekend. It was their Memorial Day weekend a week before ours. They called it, Victorian Day? Or
something like that. Yeah, Victoria Day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Victory Day, but
Victorian or something day. Yeah.
Because I know Canada Day is 4th of July week. When we have 4th of July, right in that same week, I don't know if it's the same day every year for them, but they have Canada Day because when me and Rebecca crossed in, it was really big time. Everything was closed. Even the Walmarts and stuff have to be closed on that day. But we stopped at Walmart and got us a few little odds and ends. Probably should have got us a case of water.
And that will never happen again.
But, we kept saying we was going to stop and get ice. And
we didn't know how rural we was going.
No. Well...
And we went.
We got a hint when the border guy said, "Y'all are going to nowhere." And to me, it wasn't really nowhere. I mean, to me, it was like around here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not that Tweed was like Coleman. I'm just saying, Crane Hill, you had Jones Chapel. You had all these little places, and some of them had, like Addison had a fast food joints and that kind of stuff. A lot of weed places too. They all had a weed place.
Yeah.
But and you don't find a lot of ice.
No.
There ain't a lot of ice. You sure ain't getting no ice in your soft drink when you stop at a restaurant.
You're not going to see any trash on the side of the road either.
No.
We drove for hundreds and hundreds of miles both ways, and we saw one piece of plastic.
And I think it blew off
a truck.
Or something. Yeah.
And I bet it hadn't been there long. What do you bet? Because this
No.
place is spotless.
Because that's one thing. And here, tip number one: when you go to Canada, carry you some shopping bags.
Yeah, because if you go to Walmart,
Carry them canvas bags like you carry to Aldi, because no stores have no bags, none. And that's why I think I made that comment, but I hadn't really thought about it either. You don't have all them old ugly plastic bags blowing all over the highways and the streets, because people just throw them out.
Yeah,
They blow out the back of garbage trucks. I mean, it was very, very clean country. But let's get on to the meat of the story. We come pulling up what time? 2-ish, 2:30.
Yeah, I guess so. And it was cold. We were in shorts.
Oh, it was even colder.
Yeah,
It was even colder. Yeah, we jump out. They're all in their, I wouldn't say their winter wear, but it was cool weather clothing they
they
had
were in
on.
blue jeans and hoodies anyway.
Yeah, they had their hoodies on, long breeches and boots. I'm in tennis shoes, a T-shirt, and a pair of shorts.
Ditto.
Super nice. Kind of told us where we was going to be staying, and I will admit I wasn't thrilled when I first heard that, but in the end, I think it might have been better for us.
Little house on the prairie ended up being real nice.
It did, but we were going to be put in a travel trailer on the other end of his property, which is a long ways, really.
Yeah.
Which I don't have no problem with travel trailers. And then it was like, well, there's no electricity, so we got a generator out there, and you gas it up at night, and it's quiet. And I'm thinking, yeah, really quiet, but it was a quiet generator. And oh, by the way, there's no water out there, and, no bathroom. But there is an outhouse, or as I grew up, we called it the toilet. We go into the toilet, but everybody else knows it's an outhouse. And it was a true outhouse. It had the moon. Thank God it had a toilet seat to sit on.
And a solar light.
Oh, yeah. Well, that first morning, hey, people, I'm regular as the sun rising. I'm just going to tell you. And we were getting up way before the sun rose. And I had to go out there in this cold, cold air and do my business. And it wasn't number one. So I'm thinking, I've got my phone, because it's a good ways from the camper. So I'm having to, travel around and use my phone like a flashlight to get there. And I unlock the door and go in, and I make my turn. I'm a kind of a one move man. I can make my turn and drop my old drawers at the same time, just about going to sit down. Well, I guess I lifted the lid. Maybe that's what it was. I'd been over to lift that lid, and man, it was like a football stadium. That baby lit up. Like, I'm telling you, I thought a searchlight had been turned on me. It kind of scared me there for a second. I realized they had a solar floodlight, like
Motion light.
Yeah. And if you sat there long enough, it went off. Just by the time you needed it, it'd go off. You have to wave your arm or do something. But anyway, that brought back good old memories. I mean, plus it wasn't bad anyway. It was clean, no different. It was cleaner than a lot of porta johns I've ever been in.
I'd rather been in that 10 to 1. Yeah.
So
another pro tip: when it's going to be cold, take your baby wipes back in the camper with you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Don't leave them overnight.
Don't leave them over there night when it's going to be in the 30s. But anyway, we went out there we went on out there, and then we changed clothes out there, didn't we?
No, we changed clothes in his driveway.
Did we?
We drug
We
stuff
sure did.
out.
I stood on my tennis shoes because he said, y'all put your clothes on, get your guns, and we'll go ride around and
Look at where we're going to hunt
where
in the
we're going to
morning.
hunt, and if we may see something, because it was still early enough to hunt. So sure enough, you're right.
Cut off 7 p.m.
Yeah, no hunting after 7. And I think you can shoot. Man, it was early when shooting light was.
Well, Lord, it was daylight at 4 o'clock.
I know.
I think legal shooting light was 5:20 or
That was
5:30. It
crazy.
was early.
And so anyway, we changed clothes out there in the yard, which I was glad to. I was glad to put on some long breeches and a shirt. And we take off down the road. And we hadn't went far.
We got 4 miles, 3 miles, something like that.
And what was there?
3 toms and a flock of hens.
Blowed up.
And me and Anthony, we're already looking at our gun cases like, we got to get this stuff going. And we thought that's where we was hunting, but it wasn't. Even though we tried.
Because your guns there have to be unloaded and cased.
4-sided or something, what he kept calling it. It's got to be 4-sided case. It can be a sock, one of those gun socks, but it's got to be
covered
four-sided.
Up, yeah. So anyway, it's like, where are we going here? Well, I don't have permission for this place. And I'm thinking like, well, why are we even slowing down? You just point to him as we go on by. But he did try to get a hold of the guy.
Yeah, well, he got a hold of the adjoining property owner. Mm-hmm. We thought they were going to go to that hayfield, and they went back the way they came from.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you look on Onyx, there's a big pile of woods right there, and they roost back in there is what it was, I guess.
They was birds there every time we went by that place. I don't know how many times we passed that place, but there was always a bird or two there every time.
Anyway, we rode around. We saw more birds.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gave us the lay of the land, and man, that was we rode around a good while.
Yeah.
Got back, she had dinner making, or about done. Some dinner. Boy, she could cook.
Man, we had a good meal every night.
Selena is a cooker, and I don't know if she'll listen to this. I hope she does, but she's a cooker. I don't even know what we had that first night. Do you remember? It was good. Every meal was good. Because I know we had the Manicani stuff, we had spaghetti, and what was that? I don't know what we had the first night.
I'll think of it.
You'll think of it. Anyway, well, we're sitting there, and I'm eyeballing this box that there's a heater in, a little electric heater, because did I not say we didn't have no gas heat in this camper because there ain't no power.
We had burgers on the grill.
That's what it was, hamburgers. You're right, and they were good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm looking at this little ceramic heater. I'm thinking, there ain't no way this 30-foot travel trailer, that thing's going to heat. And it was already in the 40s, and it was cold. So we ate dinner, and he told us to be over there at what? 4?
I think it was 4 o'clock.
4
or
o'clock.
4:15.
4:15. Because when we got over there, I seen a sliver of light. I mean, it was already breaking light.
Yeah.
And we went up behind his shop. I call his shop. It's his store.
Yeah.
And on the farm, he had permission back there to hunt. And sure enough, man, we wasn't there long. I said, I heard one gobble. No, it wasn't just one. There's several gobble.
Many times.
And I just felt sure we're gonna be headed home tomorrow. Of course, they don't, just because you hear them don't mean you're gonna see them nor shoot them. And we didn't see nor shoot them.
They gobble for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, and we know where they went.
Mm-hmm.
They went. There's another field on the other side of that scope of woods, and apparently that's where the hens were because, later on we scouted that place out. Apparently, a lot of people don't hunt woods up there. I'm sorry, the bush.
The bush, not woods.
It's
bush.
not. Yeah, they don't. If you go to Canada, they don't call the. You're gonna hunt that scope of woods. They hunt the bush. You hunt that bush. I thought they was looking for a bear there when you first started talking. I wasn't sure.
Well, they like the lattes.
I mean, I thought I was in Africa. I thought that's where the bush was, down in Australia.
Well, they like in bush lattes there.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
Bush 16s.
Hey, they ain't no. Yeah,
there ain't no 12-ounce beers there.
Can you imagine if they saw what's the little shorties we got? Them
little
like a pony,
little pony,
the
minis.
Yeah,
8 ounces. They'd be cracking.
They'd laugh at that because just a normal 6-pack is a pint.
Well, when you picked up that beer for your brother, I couldn't figure. I thought, God, this is heavy for a case, but it was 20. It was a 2.4 of 16 ounces, and that's why it was so heavy. It was heavy.
But it don't say 16 ounces. It says whatever milliliters or whatever. That'd have to be let's see, there's about 30 milliliters to an ounce. So what does that tell you? It'll be nearly a liter, probably a liter and something.
That was some of my Canadian slang. I picked up the 2.4.
Yeah.
Then if you want 2 creams and 2 sugars, it's a double-double.
Double-double.
But I don't know which one comes first, the sugar or the cream. I never picked that up.
Well, I drink mine like a man, so I didn't need
you
that
and Phil
stuff.
Robertson.
I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I thought that sounded just like Anthony at 5 o'clock in the morning, talking crap at 5 o'clock in the morning about real men need to drink black coffee.
Well, I mean,
boy, he put the coffee to it. He was getting that standing up now.
He said when you poured it out there, we see what color that is. It's black.
It's black.
So,
but
and condolences to Phil Robertson's family. I mean, he's a good man. I didn't know him, never met him. Good Christian man. Had a good full life. He knows where he was going to.
Done a lot of things in his life.
Yes, he did.
some things would have been major to some people, but it wasn't nothing to him about his football career. He could have cared less about that football career.
Well, that's why he didn't care that, what's his name? Terry Bradshaw took his place.
It wasn't no problem. He going to duck on it.
Yeah. Everything paid off for him in the end.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, if we go and turkeys didn't cooperate with us, so what time was it? About 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish? Was it that late?
Man, we jetted out of there pretty quick.
I mean, he come calling around. He's not, like I said, me and you, we'd wait him out.
Yeah.
But we don't have the opportunities he had.
And if we knew what we did now, we know they come there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Apparently, we would have walked in that one day.
Yeah.
But we take off, and then we went to another little farm, the one with the tractors.
Brandon's place, whatever
it's called. Not a very big place.
The John Deere place.
He had seen a turkey there the day before, and they'd never spooked it or anything, but no luck there.
Called a hen
right behind it. I'm not so sure that Gobbler now, after the second time we was there, was back over there in the other field.
Well, you know, he put his phone up. He videoed her coming up behind. She got, me and you, we were pretty spot on how far she was behind him.
Yeah.
We knew she was close.
And then we took off from there. That's when we went to Jake's.
Well, that's when we stopped.
Well, that's when you found. That's when you found
my new love.
What does Muslims call Mecca? That's when you found Mecca. Tim Hortons,
greatest coffee and breakfast there is.
Let me tell you, it's got good black coffee, especially when you've been cold. And I was cold. That
Farmer's Wrap ain't no joke.
Farmer's Wrap. Let me tell you guys, and there's a few Tim Hortons. There's, I think, one in Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia's in there for us. And next time I go through there, I'll be making a stop.
Good coffee. That Farmer's Breakfast Wrap. I'm telling you, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too little.
It was perfect energy for turkey hunting.
I mean, I was not in a hurry to go get lunch. So anyway, we stopped there and introduced Tim Hortons, and you got your little la latte or whatever.
I got me a vanilla cappuccino.
Whatever it was with whipped cream or something.
It didn't even have that. It's the best one I've ever had because you could actually taste the coffee in it.
His little pinky would come out when he would hold the cup up and drink out of it.
I don't regret it. I don't regret it so much. The next day, instead of that medium, I got me a large.
Got a large.
Then the next day, an extra large. Worked my way up.
Well, we had us a little breakfast, fueled up, met Harry, whatever his name was, David or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, Harry.
Talking about,
yes.
He had a problem with follicles, but didn't have many. But we left there, and that's when we went to Jake's because it was not. I mean, it was not even hardly mid morning,
and he wasn't home, so we went to Gideon's, talked to Gideon, and then went back to Jake.
Yeah. Oh, did we make that first stop? Yeah, at Gideon's we made a stalk on one. That's where we saw him, and he went across that pasture. Was going to try to cut him off. Gideon's son, one of his 13 kids, ran him off, and then we turned and went back to Jake's, and we didn't see him then, did we?
No. Steve just said, I've known, we're good friends. It ain't gonna be no big deal. So,
and honestly, it wasn't. I don't know how it'd been if me and you just walked up, knocked on the door, come. Hey, we're here to buy some syrup. Hey, do you mind if we go down there and hunt
or
turkeys?
if we just park in his driveway and build off in his fields? I don't think that would have been good.
So, because
Amish be toting guns up there, man.
We went through the gate by that big giant 18-hand horse. I wish I'd got a
that is legit horse. On the 18 hands.
I don't know why I didn't get a selfie with that horse right there behind.
At least that morning when it was dark and they about stampeded us.
Oh my God!
we scared them. They scared us.
We start down the hill and the turkey gobbles.
Well, we seen the hen.
Yeah,
you seen the hen right away.
And there's a gobbler down there with a hen not 200-300 yards ahead of us. I mean, we're in the wide open. Thank God he was back tucked in that corner. But I think he caught wind of us the way he left out of there.
I think he seen us through them hardwoods. Those hardwoods, after me and you walked those hardwoods, it's pretty open in there. Beautiful trees in there, big ones.
But, I seen him go. He went through the fence.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got through that fence. He didn't fly over.
Man, I
didn't look on that side. It could have been down on that side.
They just do what they do.
He did it. He did it.
And those fences weren't great. I mean, we went through.
No. You could.
All kind of places.
Yeah, we didn't even open gates. We just stretched the barbed wire out. When I can walk through it and not have to hardly bend over, it's pretty.
You could crawl under most of them. They went 2 strands and left.
Yeah.
Wish there were some trees down there. It had that ice storm 2 weeks prior to us getting there.
That's right. Whew. I don't know about that.
Which it was super windy when we're talking about. It was getting it. The wind was.
I mean, so that, I mean, after what we'd heard that morning and that one catching wind of us and getting out of there, I mean, we never set up on him really or anything anyway. I wasn't too discouraged whatsoever. And we kind of made us a little loop, kind of getting the lay of the land. I mean, it helped me anyway. We make a circle around. Heck, it couldn't have been 10 o'clock in the morning, was it? And Steve, he breaks out his box call, and he takes a whack or two on that thing, and one gobbled. Well, we've been doing this all the way around now. This wasn't like the next little field. It was a good ways around, but we're just easing down to the edge of one of these fields, and he hits that call, and one gobbles over another field. And, of course, we busted through, didn't we? We had to cut through some woods to get to that little road. I mean, we're moving and hoofing. We're hoofing it across some rocks and split rail old fences. I mean, they had rock walls everywhere where they had cleaned them fields out hundreds of years ago.
Some of them's over 6 foot.
Yeah, I mean, and these ain't little rocks. These are boulders. This is what you would need a bucket or something on a tractor.
Yeah, and they done it with mules and by hand.
Yeah, and they were big rocks. But anyway, this turkey gobbled and another one gobbled with it, so we thinking double. We're going to get a double out of here. And the road had a Y in it or kind of forked right there. And we didn't know which side they were going to actually come down on. I had a feeling, just from where we was hearing him at, he's going to come the way he came. But you never know.
No.
So we kind of set up where if it did come to the left, it would have had to been right in front of me for the shoot. I mean, I really couldn't. We could have got a shot. One of us could have. You probably had a better turn, shot across me. But anyway, it gobbled, another gobble, and that didn't sound like a strong gobble, that second gobble, but Steve's calling. Did you call him?
Then the old girl started.
Yeah. Then we had
always a hen, you know.
And you're thinking, holy crap, we're gonna get cut off again. And but it didn't. It wasn't long. It seemed like forever, but it wasn't probably 5. It was less than 10 minutes.
I'm kind of surprised she didn't come in first and just check things out. You know how they are. They nosy and they won't know where this other hen's at.
It really makes me wonder if they might not have been another strutter over there, and these two broke off to come here, and she stayed with the other one. I mean, we didn't hear no gobble or nothing. Well, we did hear it, but we'll get to that.
Well, we seen multiple Jakes and gobblers together the whole time we were there. It was kind of odd.
It was, they wasn't like they was beating each other up.
They wasn't broke up like they normally are.
Them Yankee Easterns, I don't know. Maybe they're different.
They're just different.
They're different. Eh?
Oh.
So, anyway, you say, what was that?
The old blister from
you got it
Illinois.
Off of there.
Just now finally peeled out.
I thought it was a tick.
No.
Oh. Well, Roger, his blister finally fell off. We won't have to hear about that no more.
I'm back whole again.
But back on the turkey, trying to stay off the rabbit hole. Oh, now you don't have no sun in your face. Finally. 7:12.
I told you 10 more minutes.
That was 20 minutes ago.
Well.
Yeah, we've been doing this 30 minutes.
What was that one of them southern 15 minutes, 10 minutes?
River mile.
Yeah.
So after a little while, I'm sitting to the left of Dustin. He can see good ways down that road. I don't know, how far could you see? I couldn't see till about 25 yards.
Maybe 40.
Okay, so about double what I could see.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less than double. It was somewhere in that range. Because you said, I see him. And I didn't know how far or anything. And then I think you said there was a Jake or something like that.
Jake.
The Jake was behind him. That kind of dashed the double dream. And he worked his way on down. And he had to be within 25 yards when you shot him, because it was somewhere right in there where I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't see much. And I said, I see him. But you said, you thought I said shoot him, because there was no moving. I was going to say there was no filming it. And Steve had just set his camera down to call again. He couldn't see, period. He wouldn't have filmed the shot. He might have filmed. I mean, he could have been filming when we shot and jumped up.
He was just filming like us sitting there, I think is what he said. So, anyway, bird gets killed. I mean, stone cold dead once again. That thing, 9-10 blend. What do they call that? Green leaf.
No, I'm talking about the mixture. They got a name for it.
Oh, a duplex?
Duplex, yeah. Yeah, green leaf, Apex. Y'all owe us. We're international with you now.
We're going broke.
Yeah, especially y'all raising your prices up. I mean, they done went up.
Yeah.
You said, what's the price? Yeah, you just ordered you some. I ain't going to order them. I might go get me somebody else. I've still got 3 boxes too. So, I mean, but I've shot plenty this year. But anyway, you killed that one. Good mature bird. You can go over what he weighed. And
he was 18.6
yeah,
or something.
About 18 and a half, somewhere right at 19 pounds.
Which has been kind of an average for me this year. 8.5 inch beard, I think. And then,
what was 7/8, 1 inch, somewhere in there?
Yeah. I mean, I think like 3/4 and 7/8. I mean, they were a little less than an inch.
I mean, he could have been a 2-year-old, but I think he was a 3-year-old by just looking at him. But what I know by looking at him, I mean, look at me.
I mean, he kind of done like they show on the videos. I mean, it would have been a good video. I mean, he comes down the road, no heads up, and he's looking for that hen, and he has no clue we're there. And next thing he knows, he's meeting his maker. Golly, that stuff's powerful when you're up close like that.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's why I like them close. Closer the better. I'm going to shoot them when I can shoot them, but man.
Well, and when he stopped like that, I thought maybe he was about to spook because you could see all the way down that road. He could find a hen.
I just thought a good friend would have said, take him, get him. You shot that. I got that in Illinois. You get him. But no, that didn't happen. But you know what? It never crossed my mind because we'd seen so many turkeys. I'd seen so many turkeys.
I'll be honest with you. I really thought after that first morning, first thing, I thought we was going to kill and need to ask our host if we could go get some more tags.
Yeah, well, we would have been able to.
But, the weather kind of turned on us. And I mean, after that.
Well, we worked a turkey that next morning.
We got on a bird right 10 minutes after.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. We worked a bird.
We need to go over that.
The mistake we made, we moved on around and we're headed back making our loop, and which really kind of told the story, kind of laid it out for later in the hunt. We kind of figured things out. Later in the week.
If we wouldn't have heard that bird gobble, we was going to go straight ahead toward that green field through the swamp. We found that out later on too. But we heard that bird and he goes, "Where'd y'all hear him?" We're like, "Just right up there." Right there. So we headed in.
I'm not going to say. I'll say it was our mistake too because we agreed we didn't have to get up. He wanted to move on the bird. He thought it was further away.
Yep.
I heard that bird putt. You was back behind us. We was probably 25 yards.
Well, that bird wasn't but about 80 yards.
He was just on the other side of those. He was just over there
He's 80 yards
the lake
on the other side
or whatever. Yeah. But Steve thought he was over in that other field or further around on that up in that scope of the pasture. So, but I know, and I'm deaf, but I know what a putt sounds like, and it might have been a hen, just like we heard another one another day, or I did. I don't know if you heard that one, but that bird, and it may have been the same one. I don't know. Who knows? But we did work him. I mean, he gobbled, but he just sounded like he was going further away. And thinking back now, he might not have wanted to walk through that opening. He may have circled through them woods and come out right where them other ones come out Thursday morning.
Yeah, he could have come back behind the pond and come back out. He'd have been right on us.
I know
where we was at because I was laying in the ditch.
Yeah,
I was in the runoff for the pond.
So that kind of finished up that first morning because we drove by. That's when we drove by Scoots, right?
Scoots.
And what was out there? 500 yards away from the road.
Strutters.
Apparently, Jake's hens. Way across the cornfield. I mean, way across the field. 500 and something yards when I ranged it that one day.
So then we worked on getting permission for that while we went to find something to eat.
Yeah.
We heated up a burger for lunch.
That's right. We went back. Yep. I think he worked on all that and secured us permission that it was okay. He figured it would. Like I said, he was born and raised there, so he knew everybody. Only people would be people he didn't like him or something probably.
And he sells a lot of mineral to everybody apparently.
Yeah, y'all are welcome to look him up. His company is called Rack Stacker. It's Canadian based. They do sell some in the northern part of the U.S., but super company. They got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking that he had that turkey blend of seed. We'd never got across the border.
No.
Because they wouldn't allow. I mean, we might have if we hadn't seen anything, but if they'd have found it, they'd have confiscated that because you can't bring. It might be an invasive something in there. That's why he was having to roast that other stuff. So.
Yep, I didn't think about that.
So anyway, we eat us a hamburger for lunch. Kind of did we go take a nap?
We took a siesta
Take a
that
little
day.
nap. We didn't know the schedule of the birds at Scoots, because when we got over there probably about 4 o'clock. He wasn't with us, was he?
Yeah, he was with us the first day.
I know he was that next morning.
You know, we
Oh, that's right. We went down the road because we saw all them jakes in the field.
Yeah, we drove with his truck
and parked it right there behind the big pile of rubbish. And when we went all the way down the road, and then we come back around, and he had found a place to set up, but we kept walking, and we found the actual real place to set up.
And all the dust bowls.
Oh, man. Them turkeys been dusting. There was at least 6, 7 of them.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them.
And it had been wet too. I mean, but it was dry right in there, so they could get in there and do it. So we come up with a plan that we was going to get in there. We'd seen the big boy. Yeah. He was with 3. We saw him and 3 jakes.
And he gobbled going up the hill away from us.
When
he was headed to roost.
Yeah.
So we kind of thought we had it figured out.
We had this one figured out. I mean, figured out for me because you done took your shot, so you was gunless. You was guiding too. And
you know, I really think the weather boogered us on the plan for the next morning.
I kind of think it did too, because this time he tells us to get up at 3.
Yeah.
Or be at his house
to leave at 4.
Yeah.
Right on the money. And we were going less distance.
Yeah.
But we needed to get across that field.
We had to figure out how we get in there and get set up and trim out. And we did. We got in there, and it was windy, though, and cold. Good God, I was cold.
3 degrees Celsius.
I was cold. Y'all can convert that if you want to, but it's in the 30s.
It was cold.
So we set not a gobble that morning.
Mm-mm.
We didn't see a bird. Not all morning. We stayed there and stayed there and stayed there, and we finally, he got up ready to go. And
it sounds like, you know, we're jumping up out of these spots and moving quick. But when you start shooting a bird at 5:20 in the morning,
I mean, you're hunting from 5:30, basically 5:30.
It's now 7:30, and you've been there a while.
You've been there 2 hours, or if it's 8:30, whatever. I mean, it's been a while. It's time to move. You ain't seeing nothing.
But even our Canadian brother said, "Why don't we go get some coffee?"
Yeah,
he was cold.
He was cold because that wind was hitting him right in the back. He might have been breaking it off me a little bit, but it was hitting me in the back. I was cold.
That's the morning I had 3 layers on.
Yeah.
I was good. Except my hands with the fingerless
I had
gloves.
my merino wool. I had them lounge breeches on under there and my hunting pants because I didn't carry enough clothes, folks.
I had on merino wool, my blocker early season gear that they make for turkey hunting, and then I had took my mossy oak sweatpants and went over there and put my big blocker hoodie on. Well, I mean, I looked like the Marshmallow Man, but I didn't care. I had a boggin on.
Yeah. I had my toboggan. No, I think I moved it. I had my hands in it inside my hoodie.
I needed my little hand warmer, my little rechargeable hand warmer.
Mine. But nothing happened that morning, so we whip out of there and we head to Dustin's favorite little place in Canada, Tim Hortons. And then that's when you got your large.
Yes.
Cappuccino, whatever.
And a farmer's
wrap. No,
we didn't get bagel today 3.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done that.
Oh, yeah. I'm running my days together.
I think he was ready. I think he was ready for a change. Me and you,
kept eating.
We kept eating the farmer's wrap. Not a problem.
So we get that, and we make several moves around after we eat there. Where did we go to after? Did we go back to Jake's?
I think.
No, we went.
I think we went to the John Deere farm.
That's right.
That's where I seen the bird go over the right wall.
Yeah, that was the day.
Yeah,
that was the day. We made a mistake, a critical mistake. And was that me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that dime. I saw that dime, but we stopped in the open, and he called. He said, "I'm going to do something right here," and it was a mistake because it was. Of course, we didn't know it was going to be right there in the yard.
Well, we hadn't made it over to the field yet, so he thought that hen and gobbler may be in the corner of that field like she was the day before.
But no, they were right there behind us in the farmer's yard, like a chicken.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't have no chickens.
I guess it was like a feed lot.
Well, there's a house right in there. Because the woman come out walking her dog or something, but
she had to have been cold.
Woo! I was. I could see her legs, so I know she was just like a bathrobe on or something.
I know she was cold.
I don't know. They're used to that crap.
Well, that's what I thought till he got cold.
Well, that's true. He's a little skinny fellow though.
When he shaved the big beard off, he's on the summer goatee.
So he hits the old call. He's got a box call. He loved to play it. And sure enough, you said, I saw, would the hen fire off or did you just, he didn't gobble.
I actually seen.
You saw the bird.
The big bird. He
jumped up on the rocks or something.
He's up there on that split rail fence. Yeah. Look, he went over.
Yeah.
And then you looked and said, well, the hen's coming up the driveway. So I'm pretty sure they was together.
They were together, and I think he heard the hen, and he looked, and he saw us standing there through that. It was not thick whatsoever. No. So there wasn't much of a chance on that. We hung around a little while. We didn't hang around long.
And I'm thinking the first day, kind of the same thing you are. I think he was with that hen, and he stayed back, and she come up check it out, and he just stayed back, and he didn't gobble. He wasn't vocal. I think he was there the whole time.
Yeah, I do too. So we head back. Let's see. Did we go back in for lunch after that? That would have been about lunchtime, or did?
We were going to stop for some fish and chips or something at a little thing, and it was closed.
No, we was going to get poutine.
Poutine.
What'd you call it? Poutine?
Poutine.
Poutine. Hey, if you hadn't had poutine, do yourself a favor. At least try it. I like it.
It was good.
Our curds are so fresh that it's kind of rubbery. Yeah. But, I mean, that is how a curd's supposed to taste. Yeah. I mean, it's not like these things you get here that's kind of mushy.
I was chewing that thing out here. Yeah, sound like an eraser going against my teeth.
Sound like you're just chewing on a piece of rubber.
Yeah.
But they chewed on up. That was good. It was real good. But anyway, that wasn't for lunch, though. We stopped there. That's what it was going to be. Yeah. And we went on to the house.
Oh, I think she reheated the
manicotti stuff.
Yeah, or spaghetti one. I can't remember.
No, he had spaghetti by himself that day.
Oh, that's right.
The spaghetti was for dinner that night.
Okay.
So I don't know what we had.
I don't remember. We had something to eat.
And it was we ate a little something. And
she fed us good. I'm sure we ate something.
We were going to go back. We were going back to Scoots. Was we not for the evening?
No.
You're going to have to.
We went back to
Jake's.
We went back, but I think we got out at Gideon's again before we made it to
that's
Jake's.
right. Oh, that's right. We come.
Them evil birds over there.
Hey, let me tell you something. Them damn things are possessed.
We know where this.
The bad thing is so agricultural. You can see them for miles when you look across 1,000 acres or 1,000 yards out there, and there they are.
I don't know if you kill them out of a helicopter. Them birds are slick, man, and they're not hunted. They're not pressured.
Those weren't. Not like at Jake's. Because Jake did hunt them.
Yeah.
But, was that then? We circled around through there and saw them?
I think that's the day you lost your call.
I think it was. No, let's see. What was that? That was second day. I lost the call on third day. Or was it? Maybe not. I don't know. I know he talked to people and stopped at places and we did things, but regardless what day, every day this was, we come down through there and there they was. He was out there, a couple of them, him and some Jakes and a bunch of hens.
I think that was right because his cousin said that he gave you permission to hunt over there, but he wanted to see the bird if you killed it. I think that was that day.
Okay.
I think Gideon's cousin told you.
We whoop in down there to the other Amish guy's shop. Hell of an operation, I'm going to tell you. Super cool dudes, too. But, so we parked. Yeah, we parked and we ran through because it was the next day we was in your truck.
Yeah, I stayed in the truck and entertained kids.
Yeah. Gideon's 14 kids come by. I thought grade school let out, but they homeschool, and, I mean, they couldn't have been one of them over 9.
I had one jumping up and down on the hitch of the truck.
Did you?
I was sitting there trying to eat my piece of pizza and just started rocking. I'm like, what the heck?
That's what we had for lunch.
Yeah, we stopped at that service station.
Yeah, we sure did stop and got the pizza from the Indian. Lots of Indians up there.
No traffic on that road, so you're trying to stalk and get a bird.
Oh, yeah, not a soul around, but we see those birds, so we think they're going where they're going to cross the road, and we're going to try to get in front of them. And all of a sudden, it was like a football game let out. I mean, my God, at the cars up and down through there. And I was set up in a good spot. He was down below me going to call. Well, he actually was calling.
He was laying in the beehives.
And he said he wasn't going to do that for me. That's why he told me, he said, I'll be where I can talk to you. Well, when he called, my God, he was 60 yards down that hill. I said, I'll never hear him talk. I'm deaf anyway. Ain't no way I could hear him talk. And so we waited, and I kind of eased around trying to look because it kind of went up a bank to go, where they was going to cross the road. And finally, he comes back over there, and he said, they must have went back up in the woods. So we thought they turned and went back out of that into that scope of woods. And I eased around over there and looked, and I said, they going down the fence line.
They were close.
They were going. They were going down past the shop, back down the hill, and it was like, oh crap! I said, well, if I can run up there and get to that little shack
to the phone booth,
because hey, there was no mistaking it. There was a trail looked like a cattle trail. You know how they walk around the same. That's the way it was going through them pines up to that phone booth. I said, if I can make that phone booth, I might could shoot. Get up there and cut them off and shoot. But it was real close to the road. I couldn't load. I had to unload my gun because I was at the road, and there's 400 cars coming down through there. Then he was worried about that himself. And by the time we made that decision, no, they were back halfway across the field. Looked like they was angling back toward them. So we got in the truck. Was that day? Yeah, and pulled down the road. That's when I got in another booby trap. I didn't know if I want to talk about this, but the turkeys are going across the field and they can't see us. We're down off the side of the rise there. Went up to that big field, but I'm first one across because you don't know. I didn't know they might be standing there,
right? And they were moving.
And they were moving at a good clip. And Gideon's cousin, brother, whatever, was just bought that farm. And they took the old fence down. It's hog wire. He called it something else, but it's hog wire. And in the South, we call it hog wire.
It was that big.
Yeah, big square stuff.
Big gap.
But it was flexible, plenty flexible enough for my foot. So it's laying on the ground. You kind of step it down. You didn't step over it. It was laying on the ground. And I stepped over, my foot slipped through one of them squares.
I'm coming up that bad.
And I can't get my dang foot out. I am jerking and pulling around and trying to get down there. And I could even reach it with my leg or my hand and pull on it. And I couldn't get my toe to pop back through there. And then if I pulled it the other way, I couldn't get my heel to come back up through there.
I thought I was going to gnaw it through.
I thought, hell, is somebody going to come help me sooner or later?
I was trying to get up that bank. That thing was straight up.
I done went up it like a billy goat. But finally, I don't know if you stepped on the fence, held it down. Anyway, I got my foot out. And by that time, Steve, he was making tracks. He's done ahead of us.
I grabbed your call. It was laying there.
Yeah. Was that where it fell out right there? I wish you just left it like that.
I should have just put it in my pocket and kept it.
I don't know why you didn't. Because I stuck it in my pocket, but I sure didn't zip my pocket up. And one of my favorite calls. I've killed a lot of birds with my JT call, my ceramic. But anyway, I didn't know it at the time, but we ran. We'll just get through this story and we can talk about the call. But we ran up through there and got to where a real good spot if they'd been coming that way, but they done turned.
Oh yeah, and I had I had a video going. Y'all going up that fence line. It was great. I thought this is going to be.
Did you actually film that?
I wasn't going to be able to get the turkeys because if you shot through the old fence line, but I was going to have you at least making the shot or whatever.
So we get up there and we look, and the turkeys have turned and went back to the road. Matter of fact, they were sailing over the road, over the bed of the truck. All I had to do was sit in the bed of the truck, people. I could have shot them like doves right there.
We'd have been on Gideon's back porch. It'd been on.
They landed in his backyard. We get there, and I watched them go. I'm sitting there going, I could have sat there if we'd have just stopped. If I'd have stayed trapped, I'd have been okay.
You know, that was one weird thing, though. Steve said those birds hardly ever walk across the road anywhere there. He said they pitch across the roads everywhere there. And
they had to pitch there. It was pretty steep. But
they come off that 40-foot bank.
So here they go. They land in Gideon's backyard and head on off in the woods. They wasn't scared. We didn't scare them. They were just going that way. They didn't see us. I don't know if they was planning to go that way or not going that way. All that traffic, they couldn't get across the road up there on that upper end.
At that point, we was 150 yards from them.
Oh, I know. But like I said, if I'd just sat there in the back of the truck, should have shot them like ducks.
If I would have stayed in the truck, I'd have had the show.
You'd had the video. You could have videoed them flying over.
I may could have grabbed me one coming over.
So, well, I mean, I don't want to drag this out super long. We done into an hour of this, but that was, that was at lunch. And was that when we was going to head back? No, that was the next day. We was going in. We knew we was going in early. We wanted to go in early.
He dropped us off after that because he had work to do.
That's when we went.
We went to Jake's.
Was that it?
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
He had work to do.
That's right. He did that, and he let us off at Jake's, and we went back down in there. We didn't have no luck, though. Well, we had that one.
He gobbled twice.
Well, didn't we see him cross the field?
Yeah, that was the problem.
That was all standing up there, but I mean, he should have been used to people on top of the field. But me and you, what happened was, I think we dilly-dallied around too long, trying to get away from up top.
And he got further away from us. Mm-hmm. We never.
Well, I thought I heard one putting in the woods. It could have been him. Could have been that other one we heard the next morning. I don't know what. But it doesn't matter. There was no turkey, but we found where they was crossing the road like a damn deer trail going up in there.
Yeah,
and we piddled around there.
We made the big loop. Mm-hmm. We waded the swamp.
We went through the swamp and went up to that green field, which was really a waste of time. But it was fine though. We knew not to do that no more.
And we wanted to see it.
So we did it and got on back. I guess, we called it a day after that.
He picked us up, and then he went and dropped us off at Scoots. And then the boy picked us up that evening because he was still tied up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And
so we went out there. Yeah, we seen the Jakes. They scattered on out of there.
That's right. We seen the three Jakes, and we seen
the hens come out a little bit later, but they did not like the decoys.
No. They stayed out there, but they stayed on the other end of the field.
They would not come around the decoy. They didn't leave, but they would not. Like here, man, they'll come up and posture and beat the crap out of them.
And them was just hen decoys, no Jakes.
No Jakes, none of that kind of stuff. And anyway, we watched them all evening. No gobbler, though. So
then the boy picked us up and drove like Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, my God.
His mama's SUV going across that cornfield about 60.
Man.
But we were home quick.
Yeah, we were home before I could finish the Lord's Prayer. We was at the house, and that's when we had.
I think that was stuffed shell manicotti out there.
Oh my God, it was good. It was so good. And then where'd we go? Back over there? I don't know.
Me and you, we cut loose the next morning, didn't we? Just us.
I thought one day we went to the shop and drove up behind his shop. Was that day? Was that third day? Are we on the third day already?
I don't know where we're at.
This would be the third day.
Yeah.
This is the third day.
His truck was hooked to the gooseneck, so we took mine. He did go with us that morning. He went with us that
morning, but when we come back for lunch,
he had things to do. He had things to do. He had to meet that French guy.
Mm-hmm. He sure did.
Yeah.
Well, we went back to the shop with him.
Yeah.
We walked out behind where we heard all the turkeys. That's when we did the scout about.
That was another day that me and you actually walked from the shop. We was in his truck that day. He had something to do that day.
Oh, that's right. And we walked up there, but we didn't hit the woods that day.
No, we just went up there and kind of called, and then it wasn't long. He come up behind us. Yeah. He was done already.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then
that's when he dropped us off that day, and his son come and picked us up. And it's all a blur.
But regardless, you and I went back there Wednesday. That was Wednesday. Me and you went back there and done our big walkabout,
except we drove this time.
Mm-hmm.
And the dang.
And was talking about how, why would a bird want to be out in the middle of this wheat field and they could be over there in the woods and this and that? And I said, what about that one?
Yeah. Right in the parking spot. The longbeard was standing there a big one too.
That was probably the biggest bird that I got to put binoculars on out of all the ones we actually hunted. I mean, he was a nice.
He didn't really spook.
No,
but he left out of there. He wasn't going to stay. He saw the truck.
I think they're kind of used to the farmers coming in and checking those ag fields.
Yeah, he just wasn't going to hang around.
Yeah,
and we piddled around up there on that day.
And then we journeyed through the woods and found all the beauty.
Yeah. Oh man, it was beautiful. Nobody hunts in woods. Nobody hunts woods.
And what was all in them woods? I mean, everywhere fresh.
Oh, scratchings everywhere.
Well, we know this fresh because you got on two hens just right after that.
I eased up there. Oh, 4 hens.
4 hens, that's right, yeah.
I mean, they came like a dummy. I called to them, and they came right on to me, but I kept thinking they were dragging a gobbler with them.
I
just had to stand there.
I kept seeing you look, and I thought, and at one time I thought I seen you reaching for your safety, and I thought, he's coming up behind him right now. I just stayed back watching. I got a little video of that, I think.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you send that to me.
I didn't know.
That's kind of stuff we can put out there for everybody. It's kind of goofy stuff.
Yeah, like why didn't it happen?
I mean, he killed one first half of the first day, and now we're on day 3 and still ain't,
Well, there was,
but we had all these encounters,
and we heard like 4 or 5 gobblers in that spot the very first morning we was there. So we, just because we bumped that one going in,
there
were still 4 more somewhere else.
I don't know where they were.
I don't either.
But they were somewhere.
I don't know if them hens were kind of doing their thing and the gobblers was looking.
We didn't do much because the next day, when he was headed to drop his truck, he texted you. Well, I guess both of us. I didn't look at my phone, but it said there was seven behind his shop there. So they're out and about in there. So anyway, so we've made our. Let's see that later that third day is when we bumped the other gobbler.
Oh yeah, we went back to Scoots.
We went back. No. We went back. What day was it? Me and you and him. It was that when we was at Jake's when we made our loop and we ended up walking right up on that hen and gobbler. That was the third day.
That was that morning.
That morning, but
because we set up on them other two birds, and the one he gobbled like 60 yards by the pond. We thought he was coming. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So a lot of this happened between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Hey, y'all just bear with us because a lot of it's almost like a fog. We had very little sleep.
And we hunted
hard. I mean, we were averaging 5.5 miles a day.
Plus, I mean, basically we was hunting from 4 o'clock. It felt like 4 o'clock in the morning until...
And we didn't get naps. It was almost like in Illinois. We got one good nap one day.
It was... And I mean, time we get bedded down like always, it was 10:30.
Well, the evening that me and you drove your truck back over to Scoots, we said we're going to get in there at 12. We shouldn't even eat lunch.
Mm-hmm. Every time we went to Scoots, we shouldn't have ever left.
We should have just stayed.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't sneak up on them birds.
We had lunch, and I really wasn't even hungry. And when we pulled up, there he was. I didn't see the hen, but there had to be one because he's blowed up, and that's when I put the rangefinder on his 596 yards or something.
We knocked off early the one day because we took them out to eat. I think that might have been Wednesday, huh? When we went to Belleville and ate.
Yeah. Well, that's why we didn't stay over there. I don't know where we was at.
We went to Scoots. Remember, we went and sat on that back field and called. We was up in them cedars.
That's right.
But when we got there, the Tom was going down the road.
Right. I mean, was that the day we fed him? That wasn't.
He was going straight down. Then me and you could only stay till 5 that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when
that would have been
when
Wednesday.
the Jakes fed around out there in the backside.
And then we told him Thursday, which the weather was getting worse each day.
Yeah.
And we knew Thursday was going to be ugly. And we was like, we've got a plan. And he loved our plan because it didn't involve him.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was going to be cold and pouring rain.
He's going to make me a pot of coffee for me to get me some coffee that morning. But we kind of dilly-dallied. It was a little cold out there in the old outhouse, and we was a little late getting out because, we should have been gone by 4, probably 4:15 before we got out the driveway good. But it was raining, and it was cloudy, so we knew daylight wasn't coming too quick.
It was pouring.
And we went to Jake's, which was a 25
minute drive. Yeah,
30-minute drive, or 25-minute drive.
Several kilometers.
We knew where we was going, but we'd made our plan. We're going there. We're going to set up our deception blinds because it was raining, and we was going to stay to about 9-ish. If we didn't see nothing but 9, we were going to go get something to eat.
Head to Scoots.
And we were not coming out till dark.
Yeah.
So we get down in there. It's raining when we get out of the truck. It's cold. It's windy. I mean, the wind's blowing. The horses are in the barn. We ain't got to worry about them. That tells you how bad it was. The horses were in the barn. And we take off down that hill in the dark because it's still dark. Barely can see your feet. We ain't carrying no light with us. Get down, go through the barbed wire to the next pasture, go another couple, 200-300 yards and hang a right and go by the pond and go through the cut and decide. Well, I mean, we kind of stood around. It was getting fairly light. We decided where to set up. We picked the right spot to set up.
Yeah, I think that was a winner either way.
Now, my deal, if I got to think about this, if we'd set up on that point, looking the direction we were or move further down, if we'd set on that point, that decoy would have been too close and birds would have went the other way. I think we'd never seen it. But
if we'd have set off at other points so we could see what they called the doe field, we might not ever seen them birds go up in that cove. Mm-mm. So, but we've got to there now.
So we're got the blind set up. It's raining. You throw the decoy out just to our right out there. So if something was way up the cut toward the doe field, maybe it could see it. Little do we know, you probably didn't want them to see it.
Right.
And then if something come from the direction that we come in from, which we thought that's the way they'd come anyway, they'd see it and come on to it. And Lord, it was cold. It was windy, and it was raining, and it was blowing that window.
And nothing gobbled.
No gobbles. We both called.
No hens.
Remember, you start calling, it's shooting light at 5:20. And even with the cloud cover, it was done shooting light.
Yep.
And we called and called. We talked. We fooled around a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I had a little phone signal. I checked my phone, go through some stuff and here and there and call, and you call. I'm looking down toward the doe field, and I turned my head, and there's three hens, probably 75 yards.
We had just got
you couldn't see them.
We just got done talking, and
I know.
there was nothing. He goes, 3 hens right here. I don't know where they come from. They're right here, and I was like, I couldn't see them, and I'm going, where are they at?
I'm going.
I don't know if they're up by me or what.
3 damn hens and not even a gobbler. I'm already mad. I'm getting.
Then it come to 4 hens and no gobbler. And then I heard the words I was looking for.
There he is.
There he is. He's behind them.
Man, they are making a beeline. They're going to walk right in front of us. I mean, they are coming straight. I mean, I would have been able to reach out there and hit them in the head with a gun barrel if they'd come on through.
It was going to be 10 yards.
Oh, yeah, easy. You'd made probably good video of that, too.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently, them turkeys were educated on decoys. Because they got within 60, 70 yards of them decoys. And them hens, I'm telling you, I don't know if you saw it. You didn't see it.
I couldn't see it.
I'm telling you, they were coming in a straight line, and that first hen stopped, and so I thought they saw us.
Right.
She saw that decoy. She made a 90. I'm talking about didn't even stop, and then kind of fast walked.
Well, that's what I looked up, and I said, I could just see her tail end. I said, is them birds running? You said, nope, they're walking fast.
No, they were walking fast. He never broke strut. He was in strut. Now, I'll say he never broke strut. He was strutting, and then he'd walk a little bit in strut as they went on down that edge. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do now. And you said, well, I can get out and get that decoy out of the way.
Because they went in
another field, that other cove up in there. And I go, well, we talked about it for about 5 minutes because give them time, I said, I thought they'd cut through the woods.
I did too. I thought they might come out on that road.
We'd see them 500 yards up under, and I said, well, I'm going to get out and go ease up to that point and see if I can see them. And some of you purists might not like how this story ends or how I'm going, but I'll just tell you, I eased around the end and I could see him strutting about 100 yards down through there from
good rain and good wind. Perfect. It was
rain. They couldn't hear me. They didn't see me. I was in my mossy oak. I think that's obsession, that rain suit I was in, but it was still green, and that place was really green. He wouldn't pay no attention to me, and them hens was way in the corner. So I turned, and I said, hell, I'm going to go down that road. I'm going to see if I can get down there to them, because that road split those two fields. I didn't know how thick the woods was. I could, none of that. I couldn't remember. And I took off running, and I got about 50, 55 yards down that road. I don't know what you was thinking when you saw me take off running.
I knew you was making a move.
So I said, it's now or never. It's pouring down rain. I was cold. We had another day to hunt, but it wasn't going to be no better. So I took down the road. Now I get about halfway down the road, and I start seeing it thin out, and I go, you better slow down, boy. And just as I slowed down, I caught some hens on further down. So I stopped. I actually stopped and started easing down through there then. And there was a split rail, I think rock wall. I don't know if the split rail fence was there. I know there's a log I had to go over.
Mm-hmm.
But I eased down, and then I finally spotted him. But he was out there about 45, 50 yards at the most, blowed up. Hens were way on down, down away from him. He was just putting on a show. But I couldn't shoot. It was too thick. I had to ease on down to where I could find a little opening. And finally I found something. It wasn't the most optimum place to shoot. It wasn't bad though. You saw it.
It was the best spot out of that road.
And I said, Apex, number 9 and number 10s, you're gonna have to maybe one of you can get through there. It was more open and more than one we got that. I'd already, resighted my gun, so I felt good about that. And I waited and waited. And I guess I disappeared in there because
I could see you
because I eased up in there to where I was trying to get past all the brush I could get past, and I waited and waited. He was in strut, and I'd like to lie and say I yelped at him, but no, I didn't. I waited on him. He come out of strut, and that's all she wrote. I sent him a care package, and he received it.
When you shot, I could see your elbow come out where the gun kicked you.
Yeah, he kicked. I don't remember
back and you said, woo.
I know.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. Hey, I was just happy to be going to get out of that rain.
God, it was cold and nasty. It was just a nasty day.
But I looked, we come and got the bird and took some pictures. We got down there looking at him. He didn't have no feathers. I went, did you see all these feathers in there wasn't no feathers in the field. I know I didn't shoot. Well, we'd have, You could have made a pillow out of how many feathers that bird was missing, and I wasn't paying attention when we was down in the bottom.
And I thought if he'd been being that dirty, he'd been a bad gentleman because he had tore everything off.
He had really been breeding, if that was the fact. I mean, he was from the neck down the breast down to his hind leg, no feathers. I'm literally, and I'll put a picture of it up. Somebody wants to see it. There was no feathers on that bird.
Nah, plucked.
But you know what? I didn't care at the time. Wasn't even thinking about it. We loaded up our blinds, and well, you was like a pack mule. I had my gun. You had both blinds, a decoy.
Well, we didn't take vest.
No
because
vest.
Of the pouring rain. So your tote was in the truck.
I didn't have anything.
We had a huge hill to climb.
So I had to haul that bird out over my shoulder, and we got him up to the truck. And that's when we were kind of looking at him laying right there. And you felt him. You said, that's a scab. That's like a scab.
It was a dark spot.
Yeah, it had yellowed out. It was tough. And that's when it all kind of come together that Jake's nephew had shot at a turkey 2 weeks before.
Yep.
And they knocked feathers out of it. They never found him.
That also helped with the investigation to figure out why they didn't like decoys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That made
after our talks,
yeah, we knew exactly why they didn't like decoys because he was excited. We got rid of the 2 educated birds.
Yeah. Well, he made a stalk on it once, so he said, because it wouldn't come in decoy either. It hung up, and so he felt like the three decoy scared birds was gone. So he was tickled.
Well, anyway, we looked at the bird. I looked at the bird. The boy that, we just figured he shot right down the side of it. There wasn't no pellets. I didn't get any lead pellets out of the breast.
No.
It just skint down. I've never seen anything like it. It was like you had plucked him down that whole side. And he was with 4 hens, strutting. That didn't slow him. It might have slowed him down a day or two. He might have went, man, a little raw, but he wasn't too raw not to breed. So, I mean,
I was glad that the meat was.
Yeah, it never penetrated the skin.
Mm-mm. And then I got to admit, it's a good thing you moved your gun and done that because you made a heck of a shot. And I found one TSS and out of that whole bird, out of them breasts I cleaned up. I thought that was really good myself. So you had to have packed him full in the head.
Yeah, I mean, he bled. I mean, I had blood all down my rain suit and stuff, so I had to tote him out. But
what was the figures on your bird? He was a little heavier than mine.
He wasn't. He was 19.8 or something. He was under 20. And then I think his bird's like 7/8.
Did he have a 10-inch beard?
Yeah, 10 and a quarter.
10 and a quarter, yeah.
And but the funny thing is his tail fan was broke. Yeah. I've had to piece it back together. I didn't cut it wrong.
Nah,
I think it got shot, but it didn't shoot no feathers out of it, but it did cut the skin. So you know what I've done? I took, and there was some beard hair laying down there when I was fleshing them out. And I laid them things together when I put my borax on it, and I took that beard hair and I tied it and pulled that meat together. I sewed it together with beard hair.
There you go.
So we'll see if it holds. It's down there drying.
If it don't, it'll be Bondo time. It's still easy to fix.
I'll fix it back together. But anyway, it's down there. The only thing we couldn't find is my hole. I was really kind of hurt that we couldn't find it.
He would have weighed closer to 20 if it had all them feathers.
Yeah, you're right.
He might have been a 20-pound bird.
Between the feathers and what he bled down the back of my leg going up that hill.
I mean, everything on the right side was gone off that bird.
I wish I'd have took a picture of his hind legs, too. We got a picture of him in the back of the truck, and I'll put it up for everybody if y'all want to see it. But we went up the hill, and like I said, we talked to Jake, was invited to come back. Super nice guy. We've invited him to come hunt with us if he can get down here. It took 2 years of planning to get up there this time. We taught all the Canadians how to say roll tide, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But Steve's daughter, we told her, she said something about Alabama, and I said, when you say Alabama, you say roll tide. So she was saying roll tide. And anyways, we go back. Steve texted something. Didn't he text you and ask how we were doing or doing something or another, and you text him back doing that picture?
He sent me a picture of something, and I said, I like this picture, and sent him the picture of you of the dead bird. And I ain't going to say what he said.
No, I wouldn't say he said freak you out.
He was tickled.
Yeah.
He was tickled. He knew it was time where we could actually relax a little and have a good time.
Well, we spent nearly 2 hours with Jake. We loaded that bird up, and where did we go?
Tim Horton.
Right straight to Tim Horton.
And that
I can't tell you the name of the town. It wasn't Tweed. Y'all know is it Tweed? That's just the old. That's just our generic area.
Yeah, because We was nowhere near Tweed the
we
whole
wasn't
time.
nowhere near it. But I didn't even know that really till anyway. It don't matter. But we went to Tim Hortons and we got us a farmer's wrap,
An apple fritter. To
apple
celebrate.
fritter. I bought us a couple of donuts. I had that London Fog tea.
Yes.
I
Hot tea.
felt very British. You know, and it was a little different, but she was talking about how good it was. Selena was.
It was a gray tea. That's what it was.
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey
tea with something else and some kind of milk and stuff. It was actually pretty good. I won't lie.
It was fancier than my cappuccino. It had all kind of different things going.
I was just afraid I wasn't going to be able to sleep at night because I got it. And then I went and got another cup of coffee. We ate all that sugar. Matter of fact, I've had to go back on my diet.
I forgot about that though. When we got back, you built the fire.
Oh yeah, we
Smoked the side. I'm still trying to get smoke out of my stuff.
Hey, it's still smoky down there.
I washed it. I've done washed it. And Laura goes,
That ain't going.
your rain suit.
You might as well hang it up in the sun. That's the only way it's going to come out.
She said, your rain suit. You're going to have to move it.
Well,
It still stinks.
when we got back, I don't know, 1-ish,
yeah.
somewhere around then. I mean, we killed early. What time was it? 7:30?
Yeah.
Something like that. When you look, yeah. I'm sure the picture's time stamped anyway, but so it's right in there. We got back and we just went straight to our camper.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in and it was cold because we turned the generator off. And so we had to crank the generator and listen, I slept every night up till then in my merino wool, my pajama bottom pants, my lounge breeches, a long sleeve shirt, and my socks every night. I don't know what you slept in, but that's what I slept in because it was that cold in there. It was not 35 degrees, but it was no 70 degrees by no means. So that day it was cold, damp, and there was firewood in the closet. I said, I'm building us a fire. And I got out and chopped some kindling and we built a fire and there might have been a little leak or two in the vent pipe and it was going to be that way anyway till you get it hot. I mean, you're going to get a little smoke out in there, but I made the mistake after I turned the damper down. I got up and turned the damper down, trying to slow the burn. That was a mistake because that slowed the smoke down. And I was laying in that bed. You was asleep. I'd heard you in there. And I looked down there and I said, man, is this still that smoky in here? And I'm going, oh, it cleared out. We cracked the windows. It cleared out in here. It was like a fog machine that went off in there. And I said, oh my God, I better get up. He's going to die of carbon monoxide or something in here. And I went in there and I opened the damper back up and I cranked that vent up wider open. Then I went to the back corner and opened that one where it wouldn't pull air across you. And I laid there for a minute or two and yeah, it looks like it's clearing out. And then I went on back to sleep for a little bit, but, I think I woke up a little bit before you did, but we slept for a while.
I don't think you slept too hard because, as you said, that tea had you. And
well, I was. That's what I'm saying. I tried to doze off, and when I dozed off, that's when I woke up and looked down through there, and I thought my eyes had fogged up on me, but it wasn't because I didn't go back to sleep. I was sitting there and messed with the phone because we had a generator running, so I had power. You know, one day I tried to charge my phone. We didn't have no power.
He said, well, I charged my phone. I said, well, how you charge your phone up? He said, it was plugged in the wall. I said, we never started a generator. He said, well, I didn't charge my phone up.
Hey, give me a break. Give me a break. I'm 60, and let me tell you something. The two mid-40 guys put hell on me all week about me. But you know what? I was the first one up every morning. I say that. I don't know when Steve got up, but I know I was up before somebody.
That's probably going to happen
out there
for the eternity of us turkey hunting.
I guess, probably so. But we wrapped her up, packed up pretty much that night, finished up that morning, went over there, had coffee with Steve and Selena, and we were going to go to town,
Take them to breakfast.
And that was a great breakfast place.
Well, we went back by our buddy Jake's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. On the way to breakfast. That's right. We stopped at Jake's to buy some maple. He makes homemade maple syrup there. He taps his own trees. He's Amish. They do a lot of things. And all intentions, pay him.
Yeah.
I was going to pay him. I mean, I was actually going to say here, no change, or whatever, right. Just because you find very few people this day and age that have no clue who you are and just welcome you to come hunt and invite you back. I mean, he said, be here April 25th or whatever,
yeah.
You need to be here opening day. I mean, don't come the first week because I'm going to be hunting.
Yeah. Hunt open day on my farm.
Come hunt my place opening day. And I was just afraid how cold it would be April 25th. Holy moly.
It'll be nomad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll be in my...
Be tough moving around.
Well, anyway, so we go over there and I'm going to I pick up a half-gallon jug. He's got quarts. I say quarts, whatever. It looked like a half gallon, close to it. And he had a gallon jug. I'm glad I didn't buy a gallon, but I picked that up. And I said, how much is it? And he's nothing. This is a gift.
I told him, I said, we didn't come over here for
them
that.
Things, that's probably $60, $65 worth of syrup.
Well, that's what it looked like at the cheese place we went to.
And I'm going, no. Oh, that's no. He wouldn't have it. Don't insult him.
Mm-mm.
Don't insult him.
And don't take no pictures. We tried.
We tried. I ain't even going to go in that story with his wife, but I don't think it'd be right. I know he's not going to listen to it, but she did look like a ghost.
Yes.
So anyway, so we pull out, and I'll just say this on the way out. We make it a couple, 2-3 hours. We get to Toronto, and we're in traffic. And you look over and what?
Guys tell me roll the window down. Of course,
I had told them. Let me stop you right there. I had told them at dinner I had traveled all over the world. If I had on a Alabama shirt or an Alabama hat, I don't care. I've been to Ireland, Scotland, all over, Costa Rica. Somebody said roll tide. Yeah. Generally in the airport, but sometimes you just be out. So we're in Toronto. In heavy traffic.
And the guys tell me to roll the window down. I'm reaching for a gun like we would in the U.S., but I ain't got one.
Yeah, no pistols.
I rolled the window down.
He rolled his down. His was down.
Yeah. And
what'd he say?
Roll tide.
He said, roll tide. Yeah. And he was from Ontario.
Yeah.
So that tickled Selena when we told her that. So I'm sure he told her daughter. What was her daughter's name? Jan, something like that. I forgot her name. I know Logan. But she didn't live there, so I didn't see her a whole lot. So we head back, get across the border. Look, I mean, they slowed us down leaving Canada, but wasn't really a headache. And honestly, we had to stop and get out and got the yellow paste paper on a truck crossing the U.S. border. But that turned out to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they didn't really even check us. It's like,
Well, they said said these boys are from Alabama, they got their turkey hunt gear, they hear turkey hunt. Now, if that's from Ohio, we'd need to check them out a little more. And they said, y'all have a good day.
We probably got a cavity search if we'd been from Ohio.
Well, I mean, you think we at least had to got the guns out or whatever, but we didn't.
No, we're in America, baby. You can own a gun in America.
They didn't ask for that little slip and verify no serial numbers. So we rolled out.
Yeah. And we rolled all the way into right there Kentucky.
What was that town?
Florence.
Was it? Yeah, it was Florence, Kentucky.
Florence, Kentucky.
Just out of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. What the heck?
Boat.
We got a boat out there. If y'all hear that. No, that's a helicopter.
That is a helicopter.
Man, I don't know what they're doing. They've been flying over here. Well, regardless.
That's a side-by-side. Just went down through there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know who would be on the side. I heard the muffler back. Unless it was Matt up on top of the hill, maybe riding around.
Might be.
Oh, no. That's Barton. They're here. I bet he's carrying garbage down. He'll come back by. Y'all here to get in a minute if we don't log on off of here before long. But anyway, we spent the night and we got up and we rolled in actually a day early.
Yeah.
Got here on Saturday.
Done a little work at your house and then rolled home.
Yeah, had to fix a toilet. And then I kind of laid around the rest of the day. I went down on the dock and that kind of thing. And that's where we made my list and went and picked up wood. Monday, I come back and you probably.
I seen the deck boards.
Yeah, I replaced 5 boards down there. Went all the way. I ain't going to get into it. I ain't no need to talk about it. But anyway, we got back. That's our trip. I mean, there's a lot more to it, I guess. And I know we'll bring up stories all throughout the year. But that pretty much wrapped up. That was our turkey season.
And it could have ended no better.
No, you're right. And, man, I want to go back.
Me too.
I don't know about you. I'm studying on it.
I'm studying on all these things we got going on for 26, but
man, we've already got 2 hunts lined up in 26. I mean, it's 1 hunt, but 2 states.
Yeah.
And we know we can go back to Indiana.
We want to go back to Indiana.
I mean,
I want to go back to Illinois.
I want to do Illinois.
I kind of want to make that annual trip.
Michigan,
and Canada.
I'm laying it out. I'm laying it out right now how we can do all this if the dates stay the same.
Yeah.
Because I want to be in Canada on the 25th.
Right.
Because I'd like to see it when they're flocked up and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I can stand it.
I don't know if we won't have to get 2 tags.
But if we can do that quick enough, we can come right back into Canada. I mean, right back into Michigan, so we can knock that out. And or we bypass that and we come on. If we get fast enough, we could come right into Indiana, stop and hunt there. Season will be in because it comes in on the 23rd, or it did this year because of Laura's birthday. That's how I keep it with that.
And we went up on the 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if we're up there on 25th, except I'm trying to figure out how to fly in there. I'd rather, that's a long drive. Golly, it's a long drive.
But it wasn't a terrible drive.
No. I mean.
And really, if we wanted to, we could have done 8 hours one day and 8 hours the other day. But I kind of like how we got on up and we're 20 minutes from the border and the way we done it. I don't think I would change anything. I think we left at the right time.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So
I'll have to get on to him.
I think I think we done the trip the right way. And
yeah, I mean, knowing now, I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know how long it would have took us to get across there. If we'd have got, say, been there at lunchtime, did our 8 hours and then drove another 2 or 3, get there, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're already inspecting people because, I mean, we were it when we got there. I like that way too. I think that's if we do it again, that's what we'll do. Probably stay at the same place. Everything. I mean, that was perfect. Everything was good, but I don't know what else you got. I mean,
I think that's it. I think that covers Canada. We got some stuff.
Oh, I did want to mention. Without the use of the Christopher King pot call and that legacy hacksaw, we wouldn't have killed them turkeys.
Which we ran both of them.
We ran both of them. Sure did. And I appreciate them both. Ain't going to get no better person than Christopher King and building his calls, and you ain't going to find no better people than William and his crew at Legacy Premium Game Calls. So looking forward to seeing William at the World Deer Expo. July. When is that? Somewhere around the 20, somewhere. I've got emails on it. I just haven't paid no attention. We'll talk about that as we get closer to it. But I don't know. What else? You got anything else?
No, I think that does it.
We ain't begging nobody tonight. They ought to be begging us. My God, we're international.
We took Christopher King's his call international.
I think we took Legacy.
Legacy, probably. Yeah, we'll have to find out.
I don't know if that's a big thing to.
That's been in business 30 years, so we'll have to find out.
But already looking forward to next year. I mean, I made a post. It was a sad day. I was sitting at work.
Well, we got some work to do and at both of our clubs and a little bit everywhere trying to get ready for next year.
Well, I mean, generally we've done way before now. Yeah. Seemed like. I mean, even when we went to Tennessee, it was just a close trip last year, but I have missed spring here at the house. I mean, I've got all kinds of honeydews I got to do. I've got to get down there and blast all that paint off them rails and start on that. That's my project.
You need to get started on that before it gets real hot.
Well, there ain't no way it's already going to be hot. I wouldn't even like to have been out there today. It was so humid. But anyway, all right. If you ain't got nothing, I guess we'll get out of here.
Sounds good.
Maybe I don't know if we'll have any more turkey stuff this year or not. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit of it.
Oh, and keep one more thing. Keep an eye on Talk About Outdoors as they're doing their live auctions. Yes, they're doing the live and silent auctions for Christopher King.
And I'll put a link to that in the notes as far as to talk about its page and that kind of thing. But give them a follow, and you'll know when they're going live. They got some great deals on some calls. I mean, I've missed every one of them.
I actually tuned in on the live last night for a little while.
I didn't,
but I've got a house full of sick people, so I kind of had to shut that down. Okay.
Well, all right. I guess until next week, take care of your trees because that's where the turkeys sleep.